Do it.
Hey folks, thank you for joining us for another episode of YOML. This is the Year of Magical Learning podcast. So today we're on 316, reflection 316. I don't realize how far we've gone, but we are on the last page of 365 journey. So there's only so many left that until we hit that mark. But here we are. And the book today is called The Godfather.
I mean, everybody knows this book, but how many pages do we start off with here? So there were
8
the original 365.
8 pages total.
8 pages total.
On the last page of our blog. Like I said, we're talking about 40 pages, right?
Yeah, we have about 40 left.
Yeah.
Pretty wild, honestly. Like, I mean, it really is. I mean, so we're on like mile marker 23. Yeah, no, I was treating it that way as we were going through this journey, but
yeah,
I don't think so.
I never felt that the marathon in this just send the cake coming.
Right. Well, now I feel that way more so after I finished it. Now I'm just running to run every day, just like normal running, but just keeping going, keep climbing a little bit every day.
Yeah, you gotta get your run in, one of those things where you do, the same thing every day. Hey, I gotta get my cake, I gotta get my breakfast, I gotta get my whatever it is that it is you, right? This is one of ours.
It is The Godfather, which I'm assuming you've seen this movie. Do you know what this is about?
The Godfather?
Yeah.
You're talking about the movie The Godfather?
Yeah, you've seen the movie The Godfather?
I've seen parts of it.
Okay, all right. So I don't know if you know this, but The Godfather is actually a book. It was written as a book first and adapted into a movie. I had no idea. Also, I'm a little ashamed to admit this, but I have never seen the movie The Godfather. I'm an Italian American of Sicilian descent. I don't know what it is.
You're the last sheep.
I mean, this is about my people.
This is your family.
I know,
this
right?
This is your family history.
Not in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I am from the Midwest. I am not from the East Coast.
Sheep.
My family's a bunch of family of chefs and cooks and restaurant owners, not mob men like on the East Coast.
I mean, the mob needs chefs.
Yeah,
I mean, and I think to me, chef is one of those more prevalent front, restaurants and diners and all that. That's what they do most of the business.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that okay, so I've never in my entire life had any idea of mob connections with my family, right? However, I will say at one point in my life when I was really young,
maybe you're not privileged enough yet.
Right, exactly. That's what I said. At one point in time when I was really young, my great uncles and other prominent family members that are pretty well connected and the restaurant owners and things like that, I overheard them. I don't know if it was a joke or not, but they were like, hey, we may not be directly connected to the mob, but if we need somebody, we know who to call, And I'm like, okay, fine. I don't really care, to be honest with you. It's never been a part of my life, but that is neither here nor there as it relates to this reflection. I just thought it was funny that I had never seen this movie before, and the Amazon algorithms thought, hey, just wanted to recommend this book. I was like, this is a book? I was like, never seen the movie, so I guess better time than now to, I mean, it's new to me. So I was like, why not? Everybody always talks about how great of a movie this is. I might as well check it out. And I will say this is the first time in the entire reflections in this journey that I audibly gasped out loud while consuming this book, where it was like, no joke. I remember one of the days, I think I was on the treadmill running when Sonny Corleone was killed. And I was like, oh my God, it was no joke. I get why it was a really good movie, or while it's been so well received by so many people. That said, this book is the one thing that I learned about from the Corleone family is you can call them whatever you want to call them. You can say all the bad things you want to say about their family, but the one thing you will never be able to say is that is not a family. That is a family of deep values and principles. Everything that they did was, from what I read in this book, and I've never seen the movies, Don Corleone and his family operated by a very strict code, right? Some of their more famous values were never let them see you angry, the code of silence, always reason first, use your reason first, don't ever share your real thoughts with anyone outside the family, and graciously give to anybody that's in your orbit that is in need of help, because one day you're going to be able to call back a favor from them, right? But this was their values, right? This is like, no matter what, and this is, I think, what, in a weird way, when you read this book, or when you watch this movie, I'm guessing, you've seen the movie, you said, so do you feel like they're the villains of the movie, or do you feel like they're kind of like this weird anti-hero almost,
No, I don't think they're the villains. I mean, they have their own principle and they act on it. So to me,
Right.
villains is somebody who goes against what they say. And that is my definition of a villain.
Yeah, I agree.
They just operate a business. They don't follow the rule, but then you're forcing them to force it. But I'm saying is they have their own values. Well,
Right.
this is their religion. So
Yep.
how can you say that, hey, you can't, you have to do this and that? So to me, I don't feel that they are the villain in the
I agree.
movie just because of how I see the world.
I agree. I think that's why this.
I just think they
why,
have their own way of doing things, and that's fine. Do what you want, do what you will, as long as
right.
you are true to who you are.
I think that's the exact reason why the Corleone family is so endearing to so many people. I mean, they're killers, they're mobsters, they're thieves, or whatever, but like they're people of very strict values, right? And like they're people that, like, we've talked about this a million times before on
I
this
mean,
journey.
we do the same thing, and the thing is, it's perspectives, right? You say,
It
well,
is.
if you think about it, if you are nice to someone, you're gonna have to ignore someone else. If you say yes to somebody, you have to say no to other people. I mean, that's just the way
Right.
it is, right?
Yeah.
And so you say, let's say United States is a good country, right? We try to help people, but at the same time, other people say, well, the way that you help me is hurting someone else, right? So you look at like North Korea and Vietnam, for example. When you help democracy in South Korea, well, the North see you as a bad guy,
Right.
right? You can praise yourself all you want, but at the end of the day, it's like, do you believe in the core values that you share or you don't? If you don't share it, then you are the enemy. You are the bad
Yeah.
guys. To me, it's all relatives. And so for me, it's because I can relate to their own values. To me, they say, well, I can see it. I mean, I can see that, hey, if I were to be in that orbit, then yeah, I mean, to me, this is just another tribe, another culture.
Yep.
So I can't go to another country and say, hey, the way you guys do things is bad, right? I am going to step in and I'm going to, shun you guys and blah, blah, blah. Uh, who am
Well,
I? Who am I to say?
this is why we hate terrorists, right? Like, I mean, in a lot of ways, because they don't play by the rules. They don't have any values. They're anti-values. They don't play by the rules, right? They don't.
No, the
like,
thing is, to me, terrorist is a bad group. The reason for that is because they are already bad to their people.
right?
Because
That's
terrorists,
true.
they don't actually go and carry out the act themselves. They actually brainwash someone else to do it. They
That's
brainwash their
true.
own people to do it,
Right.
right? And they say, well, you go and bomb people, I'll take care of your family, or I will give you 72 virgins. This is the famous 72 virgin story. Right? Why is there virgin, like 72 virgin story? It's some guy, hey, he's in big debt and his mom is dying, and they say, well, you do this one thing for
Right.
all the American, the Americans bad. So you basically persuade somebody to go and do something bad. So the same thing is I told you about the gangs and the kids. The kids are not bad. The gangs that are bad, right? The gangs goes and pick this kid out of the street, knows nothing, and start to whisper like the devil whisper in your ears about, okay, these guys are bad. He's making a bunch of money. Like people say about capitalism, right? They talk about capitalism is taking all the money from you. You go there and you take it back. It's yours. It's like you feed this false narrative to your own fucking people, right? And to me, it's against my set of beliefs. And when I see that, it goes against. So I see them as bad guys because it is against my belief. Because if somebody believes in the same thing as they do, then they are a good guy and they bond together, right? So to me, the bottom line is it's relative. It's what you share. If you share the same core values, then you are on the same side. And when you're on your own side, you are the good guys. Regardless if you are the you are the fucking devil, right? You still are the good guy just because you're on the same side. And it's on your side.
Yes. Well, I think you also just hit on a really important point too of Don Corleone. Like, this is exactly what I'm saying. It's Don, the leader of the Corleone family, would followed these guidelines himself. He was the model citizen of this. He was the person that always did this. He never asked anybody to do anything that he wouldn't do himself. And this is the rules that he governed. This is how he asked his family to act. This is how he asked all of his people to act. And this is how he acted. People want to be around people that say what they're going to do and do what they're going to say. When you're the leader of a terrorist group, in theory, and you're convincing other people to go do your dirty work, you're like, well, I can't kill myself. I'm going to go convince you. Well, yeah, you should. I mean, if that's what you really care about, then you should. If that's your values, then you should go be willing to do the exact same thing you're asking everybody else to do, and that's at full circle. When we talk about clubbing, this is what we're talking about. We're doing what we say we want everybody else to do around us every single day, and we're doing it every single day, right? If we sat here and talked about this shit all day long for years and years and years, and then we didn't do it, then you could absolutely look at us and be like, well, you guys are just trying to brainwash a bunch of other people, and you're not even doing the same shit yourself. Well, that's not true. We are doing it every single day. If you ever, like, I met with one of my really closest friends, I would say, in the world the other day, and we hadn't seen each other for a couple months, and we went out to grab a drink because she had some important life happening things that were going on, and I was excited to talk to her and hear about it and celebrate with her, right? Well, some of the stuff that even she doesn't know, things that I do every single day. Like, she doesn't, like, I don't talk about it to them. Like, if it's not, why would I? Like, this is just what I do every day, right? Like, I don't need to go brag to somebody about the stuff that you and I do, because it's not a bragging situation. It's how we live our lives. This is who we are, right? This is what it is. Or I ran, 35 miles this week, or I won pickleball tournaments, or whatever. Like, I mean, you could sit there and brag all day long, but that's not what the outcomes have. Nothing to do with why the inputs that go into any of these things. It is us following our values of clubbing that we care about, and you and I both care about, and we're just doing these actions. Like, that is point blank, period. And you talk about Don Corleone, like, this is exactly how he was. He was like, these are my principles. These are the things that we're going to govern us by, and this is how I'm going to behave every single day. I'm not doing it for some show. I'm not doing it for some ulterior motive. I'm not doing it to convince you to go do something. This is just how we're going to live this, because we decided we wanted to live this way. And there's reasons behind our choices, right? And I'm sure there's reasons behind his choices and their family's choices. But, like, the point of the matter always goes to, people can sniff bullshit out a mile away, right? Like, they can either say you're doing this for the right reasons, or you're doing it for the wrong reasons, or at worst case scenario, you're doing it to be true to who you want to be, and that's just who you're going to expect, right? That's the point of values, right? I think you hit the nail on the head with terrorists. I think people can sniff that shit out a mile away. Even if I did want to believe what you guys cared about, like, you said, why is Osama bin Laden hiding in a palace somewhere or whatever, guarded by 500,000 people, when he's asking other people to go, get into a plane and bomb a World Trade Center, right? Like, I mean, that's not being true to what he thinks, in my opinion, is a bunch of bullshit. And I think that's what other people sniff.
To me, I think it doesn't matter what kind of culture you belong to. I don't think any culture likes a hypocrite.
No,
I mean, it doesn't matter what you believe in, as long as you're true to your belief, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't think there's a culture for hypocrites.
I don't think so.
You think about thieves, right? There's
Right.
honor among thieves, right? Even if I'm the bad guy, right? I still have my honor. I mean, I would do what I say, right? I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm two-timing, two-facing, or whatever. Nobody in any culture wants a hypocrite.
Nobody. Like, there's even rules of war. You're like, what the fuck is rules of war mean? Like, isn't it war? Like, aren't you supposed to just do whatever you got to do to kill somebody? No, there's even rules to war. Like, the recent Hamas and Israel thing, and people were talking about, like, well, you gotta, they need to follow the rules of war, and I'm like, follow the rules of war? What the fuck does that even mean? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, there's some pretty crazy shit that people can do, and I mean, even at that point in time, we still, like, to your, I think that is really funny. I think we should research this. Like, is there a culture for hypocrites? Is a hypocrite the most hated person in this world? I agree.
I mean, to me, it's like that's why people don't like politicians. That's why people don't like values. Salespeople, right? Right. I mean, like I said, sales professional are like a noble profession, because sales, they bring solutions. But then hypocrite goes and they turn this profession into something
manipulative, lying. They have an ulterior motive, right? Like, I mean, if you truly want to be the best sales professional, it's because this is what I do. Genuinely want to help people, because that's one of your core values, and genuinely help them, right? Like, no matter what that outcome is, who gives a shit? Like, the people that want to use tricks and tactics and whatever to, like,
I mean, the thing is, if me, I have a big problem. I have, let's say I have diabetes, I have shoulder problem, right? You come to me with a solution with the CBD balm, right? You are my lifesaver. And as a salesperson, like, you are my lifesaver when you apply it the correct way. But then people say, well, I'm gonna manipulate this profession and act as if I'm this noble person trying to help you. But on the other end, it's like, well, I know these are snake oil that it does
Right.
nothing.
It doesn't work.
I'm
Yeah.
going to sell it as something else. So
Right.
you turn something noble into something bad. And I think it's the more noble particular professions or whatever, it is the easiest to scam people.
Good point.
Whatever it is, because and I think in every culture, no one can take a hypocrite as a core values and be I don't know.
No one would ever write I'm a hypocrite on their core values. Logically, even it works out. You can't be a hypocrite because if one of your values is hypocrisy, you can't even have integrity to that value of hypocrisy, right?
It goes against hypocrisy.
Right. So it's like it's literally chaos, you know? I mean, it's just pure fucking chaos is what it is. It's like you're gonna do whatever the fuck you want. There's no decision-making structure, is the point. That's why people don't like hypocrites. They don't know what to expect. They're like, you don't have any values.
Values.
Exactly.
Right?
Like it's
so
only
so so for us, like, okay, do you
right?
belong with us or you don't? I need to decide whether I let you into my orbit or I need to kick you out, right? That's what I need. But
It's
if
a
you're
chameleon.
I mean, it's like, okay, I don't know if you're on my side or on the other side. In all of the culture I've seen, I cannot foresee any culture can embrace a hypocrite as a value. It's
I mean, unless that, I mean, well, you actually technically can't if we're just using logic. But even if you did, like, I think that basically is a no value, right? Which I don't know that that's a value, right? I don't know. I don't know that you can call no value a value, you know, because you're right. It's like you're a chameleon. You're just reaching into a bag of values and you're like, okay, what applies here, you know, and I'll just adapt and do what I got to do to get what I want to get out of this whole situation. Versus like what we're talking about with like Don Corleone and his family. Like that's the thing is like you don't hate them because he's like, well, you made me do this. I told you what was going to happen if you did this, and this is what's going to happen. Like you shouldn't have done that, right? Like I have to do this. Like I don't want to do this. I have to now, you know, like this is what you've made me do. That is not my fault. That is on you now, you know, like versus like this is honestly why we hate politicians so much. Because I think you just fucking hit the nail on the head. That was not what I wrote about as reflection, but I think that is the number one reason why people look at politicians and they're like, I can't fucking even look at you. I can't stand you. Because every single goddamn time you say something different to somebody else, you know, based off of whether or not you're going to get their vote or not, right? You are a chameleon. You are a no value, right? Like you are like, and people hate that. So the reason why I even brought up family values in this whole thing is this book reminded me like, hey, look, I've spent the past, you know, Amelia and I have spent the past 316 books or reflections exploring since, you know, this all started after her, obviously, her losing her, and then, you know, our journey that we've been on together has been really about exploring personal values, right? But one of the things that I forget is like how important it is to have a unifying code of family values. I'm looking at my own backyard and my own house, right? You know, and I was like, I think it's about damn time that my wife and I officially sit down and have this conversation of like, what do we want our family values to be? Like, I know I have my values. I know Amelia has her values. I know the Clubany has their values, but I don't know what our family values are. My personal family's values are. So I've asked Felicia a million times to try to do this with me. We started to write it down a list, and then she just is like, I don't want to do this. I keep bringing it back. I'm getting there. One day I will break through this whole entire thing, but like this is important to me. I will figure out what my family's values are because we all need a decision-making structure, right? I think that's what this is about at the end of the day. This is what values are about, is a decision-making structure. Every family needs one, every culture needs one, and people need to abide by it, or it's irrelevant, right? Like, and then you're a hypocrite, right? So my wife and I got together and said, one of our values is, you know, I don't know, give me a random value, patience, you know, like, or something like that. And every single night we're screaming at each other, get the fuck out the door, you know, run for trains all day long. That should be our values, run for trains. And if we're going to operate in chaos all day long, let's at least just make that one of our values, you know, like chaos, like, you know, fucking run for trains all day long. Because that's what sometimes I feel like you can't. But my point being is like, we need to strategically say, don't run for trains. So when we know that we're going to be late and everybody's stressed out and we're all yelling at each other and trying to run out the door, and we just all can go, look, this is not what we want to do. And we can put our decision-making structure into that. That's what I would love to get to with my own family, as well as our culture, as well as everything else. But like this book was just a really good reminder of like, even the shittiest of families that kill people and steal from people that operate on a family value structure, you know, you could still like them and they're still good. There's still something redeeming about them. Now back to your thought process, because I think you're onto something really important with the hypocrisy, you know.
I think it ties into the value because, like you say, one of the things that you just said is every culture needs a value.
Mhm.
needs a set of values. Every family need a set of value, because if you don't have values, it means that, oh, I don't know if I believe it. You never declare that, hey, you are this or that, right? Meaning you can be a chameleon, you can be a hypocrite and pretend that it wasn't your fault, right? So you can be this hypocrite.
Okay.
And when a set of people believes in a certain value and you believe in hypocrisy, right? Even inside of your orbit, inside of your family, inside of your circles, you are hypocrites.
Mhm.
You cannot trust the other guy. You think about politicians, right? They don't trust each other because they are all hypocrites. So
Right.
when you don't declare a family value, you are essentially saying, I'm holding on to the hypocrisy card. You
Yeah.
are using it, right? Because you say, well, I don't run for train. Then you run for train sometime. You
Right.
do this sometime, right? And you say, well, I don't lie, but then sometimes you lie because you are using that card because
Yep.
you want to leave yourself room for that. But if you declare a family value, say, well, we do this, we
You
don't
know.
lie to each other, whatever the core value is, you
Right.
don't use that hypocrisy card anymore. Right?
Right.
This is the reason why people shy away from making that commitment, and they still want a way out using the hypocrisy hole to weasel their way out of it. And I think
That's
in
exactly what it
order
is.
for a community to be strong knit, to be trusted, and to die and sacrifice yourself for others, you have to have these people declare their values to you. So that you know, hey, the guy that's standing next to me, I'm going to fight along his side, that's not gonna stab me in the fucking back. You
Right.
think about it, right?
Yep.
You think about how the thing is, you are willing to like the people that stand behind you, you will protect them, right? You think
Mhm.
about that kind of value. The guy that's standing behind you, you will do whatever. The only way that an enemy can get to the guy behind you, it is through you, through your
Right.
dead body. That is the value you declare. And that
Right.
is such a strong value that you say, well, if you want to get to this guy behind me, you got to accept over my dead body. That is saying something. And the guy that's next to you, these are your brother, your band of brother. This is what you call the covenant, right? The
Mhm. Yep.
covenant that if you believe you are banding together, just like you're in a war, and the guy next to you, you trust him with your life
Right.
because you are protecting his side, and he protecting your side. You are not worrying about whether or not he's protect you. You're going to say, well, I'm worrying about this side only. Whatever this side, I trust him. And that is the only way for you to have that kind of trust if they all declare that, hey, I am on your side. This is what I believe.
Right.
Versus, hey, I can't say, I don't want to commit. Meaning, hey, do I have your back? Do you have my back or you don't? I don't know. So that means
Right.
when I'm fighting on this side, I have to watch my back to make sure that he's still there, protecting my back. Cause I'm fucking here protecting his side and his blind side, right? So you think
Yep.
about it,
Yep.
without a core value, there is no such thing as a close knit culture or a close knit tribe. There's no such thing as a strong family if you don't have a family values. So to me, it is a must. If you don't have it, by default, you are
Mhm.
going to use the hypocrisy at
Right.
one time in your life, probably more than once.
Oh,
But
all the
to
time.
me,
Like when you leave that card on the table, you use it all the time. There is no principles. Even if one of you says, one of my core values is integrity, right? Let's just pretend that my family never spokenly says it's integrity. If I'm always true to something and say what I want to say and do what I say I'm going to do, but like my wife doesn't or something like that, like, to your point, if as a family we agreed, hey, this is important to me, this is important to you, it's important to all of us, right? And if she holds on to a card and I hold on to the card, even if it is one of my values and I don't share that with her, or something along those lines. You always just leave the door open
and
for
you don't
bullshit.
know that she's gonna have your back because that's just
Right.
like what I told you. Like the
Yeah.
guy next to you, you don't trust him or her 100%
Right.
because you never say that, and she never declared, "Hey, don't worry, I have your back," right?
Right.
And so you fighting, but you're gonna be distracted from the back end. Like I gotta
Yeah.
worry about some shit
Right. Right.
behind
Right.
me, right? I can't really focus 100% on the front end of here. And so that's the thing in a culture. There is no such thing as a tribe that embraces hypocrisy
Mm.
because even in that tribe, the individual person in the
I gotta
tribe
look that up.
don't trust each other, so it can't have a tribe of hypocrisy.
It's a value expressing inconsistency.
I mean, it's an anti-value if you have
Right,
to
right.
define it. But I'm saying it's like if you said, let's say, because you let's take politician, right? Politician in their own like rights is a tribe, right? A
Right.
tribe of politicians, but they don't hold. So each one of them have hypocrisy as a value, right? But they can't practice the community tribe-wide hypocrisy because each hypocrisy doesn't work with they don't work with other hypocrisy because each politician don't trust the other politician because each of them has hypocrisy in it. So
Right.
in a way, it's like hypocrisy is one of those things where it's like it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit in a value structure.
Well, it's an anti-value. I mean, this is the definition, right? To claim to have moral standards or beliefs which one's own behavior does not conform to. It's an anti-value is really what it is, right?
It can be a practice.
Oh, sure. You could definitely use it as a I don't even know that you could use hypocrisy as a decision-making structure either. Because if you did, then it would be a value. Because then you would say, like, well, I'm going to say this and I'm going to do that, but that is your value, though. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to always lie. Like we talked about this. You remember back when one of our reflections about the book Lying by Sam Harris? Do you remember when I told you Sam Harris is one of the only like 3 books I didn't write a reflection on after I read his book? I don't know why. Something about that guy just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know what it is, but like I can't put my finger on it, but something about that guy just doesn't seem like it jives with who I don't know. I can't even describe it. But anyway, that was the one Sam Harris book that I did, was that book called Lying. And I remember the reflection was basically something along the lines of the only person you can lie to is yourself, right? Like if you are a hypocrite, that's all you do is lie to yourself. You say that you want to do one thing and then you do something else. If you can lie to yourself, you can lie to anybody, right?
It's very hard to define hypocrisy because it's
I know.
anti-everything.
It is anti-everything. I would actually respect somebody that said, "Hey, I'm a liar. That's one of my values. I lie." So whatever the words that are coming out.
But then that's the truth.
But then that's the truth, right? Like so, it's what I'm saying.
Because when you say you're a liar, you're not being
you're not being truthful, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. This is my point. I don't know. I honestly, I'm really struggling to reconcile this in my head of how. Yeah, I mean, really, like hypocrisy is just basically a chaos bomb. I mean, it's really what it is. Like, because there's just we love consistency and order, and it's like anti-consistency and order is what it is, right? I mean, that is basically what it is. It's chaos.
Yeah, it's neither negative or positive. I mean,
right? It's just chaos.
It just changes whatever is there, right? So you can have a negative, and so when you say I'm lying, it's like, well, you're not being hypocritical because you're being truthful. It's like you can't do that. That violates hypocrisy.
None of it even makes any fucking sense. Like, because I mean, it's. I mean, I guess if you thought about it from this perspective, order and consistency. This is why values are so valued, because we crave order and consistency so much, and then you see like the Corleone family. Like the one thing that you can never say about that family is that you don't know what you're going to get from them. I mean, they say it all the time throughout the entire book, and I'm assuming the movie as well. Like, what they're going to do, right? Like, I mean, am I wrong? Like,
hey, if you do this outside of these rules, the consequences. I mean, everybody knows it because they make it pretty clear. I think in any culture that I've seen across, whether that's the Asian culture, the Western cultures, your Middle Eastern, whatever culture it is, there's always a set of beliefs that we follow, and that is core values to us. Needs value. Every family needs value. Every tribe needs a value. Every nation needs a value. Every group of people needs a value. These are common beliefs that we agreed on.
We need structure. We need consistency. We need order. That is important to us. I mean, we've talked about the black swan. And yes, this world is random, and black swans will reshape our lives.
But without structure, you think about a net or a hive. So you can't create a hive if there's no structure to it.
Yeah, you need structure. We all do. We crave it.
You think about the puzzle or the Lego, right? Without the connections, how do you connect the puzzles together? How do you put the Legos together if they don't connect? If you say, hey, random shapes, it's like, okay, so You cannot create a unit. That's what I'm saying is a tribe is a unit. A
Right.
nation is a unit. The whole entire human race is a unit.
Right.
As a human race, you are competing against Neanderthal, competing against saber-toothed tigers, against like woolly mammoths. You have survived and you have, expanded your unit.
Right.
You look at the nation, you look at the family. So every single group of people needs to have a value or set of value to become a unit.
Yeah.
Without it, you basically say, hey, you're just kind of hanging around. So a family cannot be a strong family without a family value. So to me,
Great.
I would encourage you to continue to.
I'm gonna re-bring it up because we started writing it down. We had like an hour chat about it, and then she was like, "Oh, let's pick this up another time." And I tried to question her a few other times, and it just never. She's just not one of those people who likes to do that stuff. Like, so I got to push her though because I think it is really important. Yeah.
To have like, hey, you want a long-lasting relationship with your family, you have to understand who they are and what they believe in, and also express and declare what it is you believe so that they know. Because right now, I say, well,
and the kids need to know it.
Luca grows up and say, well, dad's like this, dad's like that, right? Or I don't know, I'm just going to guess. And so you're gonna guess wrong. But if you declare to him, say, hey, I'm this kind of person, Luca, right? I have integrity, I live for two, this is what I do.
Right.
He's going to understand you and he's going to have a better connection with you.
Yeah.
And so, then how a lot of people become estranged and becoming like really separated apart because there's no connections. Because you don't declare your intent, then there's no connections. And so you want to have that close-knit family where you have just how back in the old days where you have Italian family or like you have the grandma with like 20, 30 people around every Sunday. That is a close-knit family, and they have a particular way of doing things. When you see grandma, she does this, and she does it all the time because she declares it. Hey, this is what we do, and we don't do this. Like whatever it is. Let's say we pray at a table. Right. Every time you go to grandma, you gotta pray. Right. You don't even like think about it. You say,
that is how my grandma's house is. I mean, like we used to always eat dinner together. That was an unspoken family value, but we always got together and we always had dinner every single night. Like my mom cooked, and I think that's a really important time. That was something that we did. And when we didn't do it, or if my mom were to say having us all together for dinner every night is important, but then every night it was like fend for yourself, I'd be like, well, that's not true, Mom. Like, I mean, like you don't give a shit about this stuff, like, but like so it's even more so for your kids, like for a family value connection piece, because like we've talked about this as well with like the drama of the gifted kid and other discussions we had in the past. You can really fuck a kid up. Like
need order.
They need order. They crave it. That is like fundamental to their upbringing. So if they never know what to expect out of their parents, like that just provides a just pure chaos that you're putting their life into when they're growing up.
Because they're already in chaos because they're trying to figure out what's going on in the world, right?
They need an anchor.
You are giving them mixed signals.
Right.
And it confuses them even more. And they say, well, I don't know what to do. And so they're out there to fend for themselves. But if you have order and say, I feel safe because I know that I do this, I get that.
Right.
I don't do this, I get that, right? And so they crave that order. I really agree with you when you say that. They do crave orders and consistency because most of what they're trying to figure out in the world, trying to grow up and experience things, it's already overwhelming for them to process information. And here you're adding fuel to the fire. So that's why they do like structures and rules. They may not agree with you, but they like it. Psychologically, they like it.
Yeah.
It makes them feel safe and say, well, I don't have to worry about this. I just need to worry about the other stuff. So when I go out there and I do this shit, I can always run home.
Right. You have a safety net, you have a place where you feel like you're accepted and that people understand you and that you can go back to.
It's a sanctuary. To them, it's a sanctuary because this is how they get the courage to go out there and explore new things because they know they can always run home and get under the sanctuary and they're going to get protected and they know exactly what to expect and what to happen if I just don't do this and that. Because if you don't declare it, right? Let's say because the thing is, if you don't tell your kid, hey, I may be disappointed in you, but I will always support you. You declare that to your kid, they will always come to you when they need your help. But if you don't do that, they don't know where to go. And they will say, well, I don't know where to go. So anyone can scam them. Say, hey, go
Parents are a liar. Yeah, right.
come to my gang and I'll take care of you like family. Like, oh, you don't have a family? I'll be your family. I'll be your big brother. And hey, this guy here, he's taking money, blah, blah, blah. Go, just bang, bang, right? That's how they turn these kids into gangsters, because they just, and then they're taught the same thing.
Provide structure and they provide structure and order.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it may not be good structure and order, but I mean, that's exactly what the Corleone family was.
Great.
Like, I mean, right. I mean, that's what a lot of like, so it's, I chuckled when you said, like, when you have a place you feel safe at, you can go do raccoon shit, really, is what it is, right? Like, so like I think maybe that is one of the reasons why I've always been really curious. I've always known that my parents will take care of me if I fuck shit up, and I don't mean that I wanted to go out there just to intentionally fuck shit up, but like, I was never afraid to take a chance on stuff, right? Like, I was never afraid to be like, hey, I'm going to go move to some new city that I don't really know anybody at, or take a job that I don't know that I can last at, or something like that, or go take some time off to go do whatever, or gamble too much or whatever and make a mistake, something like that. My point being is, like, I always knew that there was somebody always that would help me out, that I could come back to and be like, okay, made a mistake, back in the the comfort place, where I know what matters and what doesn't matter, and then I can get my bearings back and then go back out and try to fuck up again, and like, that's probably one of the reasons why I'm not afraid to do a lot of stupid shit now, and I'm okay with that.
And the thing is, that's what humans is, because you have the ability to explore, and your faculty is designed for that. It's designed for explorations. But if you shun the kid, you say, hey, stop asking me why 300 times a day, just eat your damn fries, you are creating a value too, but it's a negative value. And you shun the kid from being curious. And then he won't amount to anything. Then you keep yelling and say, why don't you amount to anything? Why are you so chicken shit? Because it's like, no, don't blame on the kid. You did it. You scared him to death, and you basically, close up their world, and their world is completely chaos. That's why kids get bullied so easy. Because the thing is, if you have a sanctuary, a family that knows exactly what happened to you, you go out there and somebody tell you, hey, you're ugly, you're that. It's like, it doesn't matter, because I don't lose everything. I don't lose everything, because at least when I come home, right, people will tell me the truth. But if you don't have that structure at home, then when people tell you you're ugly, right, then you feel depressed. And then when you feel depressed, you come home, then what do? You go and you lock yourself in the room. Why the fuck do you lock yourself in a room? Even in your own home, you don't feel safe. You have to go into the fucking corner.
Right.
That is what I call like the unstructured family. So to me, family value is super important. That's why I kind of like put my ear up when you say, well, I'm trying this with Felicia, but she doesn't want to catch on and commit to it.
No, it's important.
And I think that's important, because the thing is, it's not only for you and for her, but that's also for the kids as well. Because
for the kids. It's probably more for the kids.
More for the kids.
My wife is a value-based person. I'm a value-based person. Like, but what are we together, right? Like, that doesn't mean just because she does, if, like you said, if nobody speaks about it, and nobody brings it into the existence, and nobody can hold each other accountable to these things, then it's no better than
being a hypocrite.
But to be a hypocrite, like, the worst thing you could be as a parent is a hypocrite. Like, I mean, that is probably the absolute worst thing you could do. If it's a monkey say, monkey see, monkey do situation, right?
I mean,
I do as I say, not as I do. Right. If you see if you see your dad outside smoking and drinking all day long or whatever, and then you're like, don't smoke and drink. I mean, like, the chances of you not, the kids turn into alcoholics. They're like, oh, this is what our family values. We drink all the time.
And to me, the reason why kids are alcoholic, kids turn to alcoholic, is because you prevent them from drinking. For me, is my kid want to drink alcohol, I'll give it to them.
Right. Yeah,
because the thing is, the max they can drink is probably a sip, and they will stop drinking because it tastes awful.
It does.
But the thing is, this is one of the concepts that I told you about the elephant, right? When an elephant is young, you tie the rope to the little anchor, like a wooden anchor, right? He can't get out. But when he's like 10 times his size, he still won't get out, because he has the experience when he's young. So for me, I give my kids, like, okay, you want to know what beer tastes like? Drink it. They stop drinking.
Yeah.
They won't drink again. They won't drink again unless, like, somebody forced them to drink, but they won't drink again.
I liked beer as a kid. My dad would give me sips of beer, and I was like, "Oh, it's good." I actually liked it.
Well, then give them to more.
Right. Well, you never did that, but well,
The
actually,
thing is, it's better when you do that under your supervision and kind of do it one time. Yes, it's not good for the kid, but you have other remedy to get rid of the alcohol, and you know how to get rid of it. Right. But if they do that without your supervision, this is where the danger comes in, because if they have never tried it, when their friends peer pressuring them into drinking it, they don't know what it tastes like, so they'll try. Well, they'll try, and then they get peer pressured to, hey, you got to suck it out and say, hey, you can take it, you be strong. But if you hate it in the first place, you will refuse, so you will never get into that situation where you are really like.
It's even worse than that. They don't have a decision-making framework. When you get put into situations where you're going to be peer pressured, because it's going to happen, everybody needs to have a decision-making framework. If you grew up in a chameleon family, you're like, well, I'll do whatever everybody else is doing that allows me to have the least amount of, bad shit happen to me. So if I'm in a group of people that are all smoking weed and I don't have any values, I'm going to say, okay, fine, I'll smoke weed with you guys because that's what everybody's doing. I'll do that, right? Now if you grow up in a family where, for whatever reason, you were taught a decision-making framework, that's really what you should teach is how values are a decision-making framework, right? Hey, Luca, hey, Amelia or whatever, like, this is how our family makes the decision. These are our values. Like, when we're all running around and we're all going crazy and we say, hey, we all agreed at one point in time, your mom and I agreed at one point in time, not running for trains is really important. So if you hear us screaming and yelling at you guys and telling you we needed to go run, now we should strive to try to be early to church.
Yeah, but they'll call you out as well, because then you declare these are the I don't run for training, and you run for training and say, hey, Dad,
what are you doing?
What gives?
Yeah, right. When you have a decision to make, that this is how you've been taught how to make decisions on your own and how to own your own. Go, hey, nope, this isn't what I should be doing. Like, this is not what I want to do, right? And when you get out into the real world and you got to go and you're put into all those decision-making scenarios that are going to be pivotal for your life, and you have no fucking compass at all, like, that's the worst thing you could ever do, is then you're just going to go with whatever you think that other people want you to do. And then you're going to end up being hypocritical.
You don't make decisions. When you don't understand and have a decision tree, you don't make decisions. Other people make it for you.
Exactly. Well, I mean, in a weird way, other people, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Just have a framework. Like, I don't
Well, you have to have a framework, because then it's right now, like, okay, why are you in Indiana?
I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Why am I in Houston? I don't know. I didn't make the decision. Someone else made it for me. How long you been in Indiana?
My whole life minus.
Pretty much.
No. I mean, I guess I've never technically not lived in Indiana. I mean,
I'm saying it's why you're in Indiana, because exactly. It doesn't matter. It does not matter whether you're born there or not. You didn't make the decision. That's my point. Right. You didn't make, someone else did. Right. So it is on a random chance that the people who make decision for you has your best interest, and that probability is low.
Probably,
right?
Yeah.
The people you surround with, it's also by random. It's not really like, hey, you say these people for whatever reason, just be there. I have some experience, drinking some beers and some whatever, and you should drink it too, right? You should be messed up too, right? I get beat up by my parents, by all the. You need to do it too, because you and I need to be together, be strong, tribe value, right? They're gonna fuck you up.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, but they are the one that make decision for you, because you didn't know. The thing is, that's what I'm saying is, if you don't know anything about whatever it is, whatever I tell you, there is no comparison. You cannot compare something. You have to take it as the truth, because they ever tell you, hey, let's say an elephant has like 9 eggs. Right?
I don't know.
You don't know. That's my point. Sure. There's no decision. That's why people will make decisions for you. And I can tell you, let's say will tell you lies. I can tell you a lot of lies, and you have no idea, because I tell you so subtle and so little in terms of, like, not like ridiculous as elephant that something about. Let's say there's some kind of like an Asian, moth or whatever that you never seen, and I tell you, hey, it has like 9 legs or whatever. You don't know, so you can't say, well, no, that's impossible, blah blah blah. I tell you, hey, people can hold their breath for 6 minutes. No. Only when you have something like for you say, hey, I can't hold my breath that long. Then you have some comparison. But I'll
Right.
tell you something you never seen, you don't have any kind of experience, you will have to take it as a truth. And that's the reason why I can make decisions for you in those scenarios. So without a decision tree, you are lefting your life decisions to other people.
Right. And if you don't have family values, then you start off always already behind the 8 ball as a kid, because if you don't grow up in an environment, where do you get that at? Like, I mean, like to your point, like where do you learn the power of values? I mean, I guess you could learn it in, if you're lucky, and like high school sports teams or
them, right?
right,
Exactly.
right,
If you're lucky.
or your fraternity in college.
But that's probability, right? Probability. It's
it's
random
just
chance you're gonna hit the right kind of group that will have your best interests at heart.
right.
But the rest of them are just, hey, I just need you to be messed up as much as me.
Right. But we all have a family, and we all grow up from somewhere. So
And we all belong to some group, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because
Yeah.
we are born with a certain DNA and genes and whatnot.
Right.
That's why I'm saying, hey, you gotta be who you gotta be, right? It's not who you want to be.
Right.
I can't be Michael Jordan. I just can't. I just, I just can't, right?
Yeah.
I can't be Troy Aikman.
I mean,
I just can't do it. I want
to.
I just can't do it.
In another
I
alternate
can't be
universe, in the alternate universes timelines, who knows?
But
right?
I'm not anymore in the alternate universe.
Right.
So that's a moot point.
All right,
so
all
in
right,
in this universe, they're gonna be me.
I agree. Any final thoughts? But I'm officially tapped.
Gotta have a family value. Gotta have one.
I'm gonna go talk to Felicia about this ASAP again to reignite that conversation, because I think it is really important. This is why I love doing this stuff, because I was reading this tonight before we came on here.
The company has values, right?
Mhm.
And so when you saying something, let's say when we say, hey, you and I believe in don't run for train, and you run for train, I will call you out and say, hey, dude,
Right.
you're running for trains.
Right. Yeah.
I tell you, don't drink that cherry.
That wasn't running for trains.
I'm saying that's different values. I've never quit.
Yeah,
I say,
yeah, right. Endure that, for a small window. Thank God it was only a small window of my life. That's basically how I felt. How I felt when I was drinking like those tart cherry juices, where I was just fucking miserable. Like everything it just felt fucking miserable. After every time that I would drink that shit, and my stomach would just go throw it into fucking tissy, but the sad thing is like there's so many people in this world that have that with every day when they eat their food that they eat, and then they're like, well, I guess I'll just endure it, like, what are you doing?
I mean, this is what they do. They say it is what it is, because I mean, life is supposed to be miserable. They say it is what it is, because they keep eating this gluten, and it say, hey, my stomach is like completely
every time I eat it,
killing me. And I say, well, that's just life. I mean, people are living with like chronic pain. And I talk to them and I say, well, that's life, right? I said, I don't think so. No? I don't think life's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, I don't think everybody does that, All right. That was fun as always. We will see you all tomorrow night for 317.
317, yes. Good night, everybody.
Have a good one.